All right, with that said, I'd like to call this meeting to order. If we could please all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Doing roll call, all council members are present. Do I have a motion to adopt the agenda?
Make a motion to adopt.
Second.
I have a motion to adopt the agenda by Councilman Lundin and a second by Councilman Burgley. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Proclamations, commendations, and certified awards. The Rotary Club of Cambridge and Isanti, Miss Jackie Moen, if you could step forward, please. Hopefully I pronounced that right.
You did. Jackie Moen. Ooh, no relation to the Moen Fawcett's.
I was going to ask you, but you beat me to it.
No. As you noted, Mayor Johnson, I'm with the Rotary Club of Cambridge and Isanti. And for those of you that don't know about us, we are a worldwide service organization. And we've been in the area for about 24 years. Our motto is service above self. And it's our honor tonight to present a donation to the city of Isanti for the dog park. It's a relatively new dog park, and we found ourselves with some extra funding in our budget from last year. So I connected with Jenny Garvey of the city and thought, well, what can we do with this? You know, we would like to be able to donate to both Cambridge and Isanti, and we've done that with Cambridge already. So with the city of Isanti, we put our heads together with Jenny, and she thought there could be a good use for equipment in the park. And it's well, you're probably all aware, it's a very nice park, and we are donating a bench that is all season, and it's already been purchased. The bench is purchased, waiting for installation, and the second thing will be going towards agility equipment for the pets. So I'm here tonight on behalf of Rotary to present a check for $1,200 to be applied to the dog park for the items that I just mentioned.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ms. Moen.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. You're very welcome. And I don't know who I actually officially give the check to.
If you could actually give it to Miss Wood over there and then step up here, and we're going to do some photos if you don't mind.
With it.
Okay.
Actually, we'll keep it in hand. We'll take it with it.
Okay, perfect. Great, thank you.
You guys are getting this too. I don't think you're getting out of it.
I'm going to do the big check, but...
Well, she's much better looking than you, Joe. You can sit down.
It's true. Squeeze in here. They'll tell us which way. We can have some on her other side too. Dan?
Okay.
Well, we'll make her look much better.
There we go.
There you go,
go.
Paul.
Squeeze in here.
Do we do a handshake or just a check?
Just a smile.
Okay. Thank you, Jill.
Thanks, Jim.
Good.
Jill, those gloves don't do any good, you know.
If you guys can look here, I'll take a couple.
Thanks, Rachel.
And let's smile, and we'll do one more. Thank you.
That's just to be cool.
And the next one.
When you wear those, though.
I might have waited your first
Dan,
one.
can you
Miss
pull that
Brooks?
chair that way? Right here. Hold the chair, just push it out to your side.
You don't want to let go of your hand. My wife might be down.
You have to throw me in the bus there.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thanks for the donation.
You're welcome.
Yeah, if you would.
It's a wonderful dog park, too.
Yeah.
You too.
It's going to be even better now.
Yes, thank you.
Can we
She
afford
said
to turn
all-season bench.
Hey, can we afford to turn the heat on in this joint?
No.
Jesus.
Cutting down on the budget.
God.
Councilman Lundin wanted to turn the heat on. I said, no, we're cutting the budget back on the heat here in the building. I thought so too.
Yeah, right.
Do I have a motion for the approval of the city council minutes?
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Motion to approve by Councilman Lundin and a second by Councilman Gordon. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Announcements, Committee of a Whole, Tuesday, November 19th at 5 p.m. City Council meeting, Tuesday, November 19th as well at 7 p.m. with Planning Commission immediately following the City Council meeting on November 19th as well. Park and Recreation Culture Board meeting, Tuesday, November 26th at 6 p.m. And I'm going to go forward with the council committee reports and add something myself. If you gentlemen are okay with both items that were presented to us in the citizen input, I'd like to actually add those to Cal so we can discuss them.
I was gonna suggest the same thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
Maybe if we can discuss them at call and then bring it forward at that meeting, so if we have to act on it sooner than later. So Mr. Burrows would probably be prevalent to show up on the 19th. Is that allowed, Ms. Wood?
He just wouldn't be allowed to speak, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, he'd be at call, but if we could act on it on the 19th.
Oh, so if we did want to do something right away, Councilman Lundin is saying push that forward to the council.
We could, if there's an emergency need, that is allowed in the bylaws to do so.
Okay, so it might be prudent for you to be here on the 19th then, at the both.
And then I caught your first name. Sorry, Jesse, I
Jason.
didn't catch your last name. Owen. We'll just stick with Jesse. How's that? All right, good. You can call me Jeff too. I don't mind. We'll discuss yours at that committee of a whole meeting too, Jesse. If you want to be present, you're more than welcome to hear what goes on. That's at 5 p.m. on November 19th. And then we'll discuss it as a committee of a whole, all of us together, and throw our ideas around and give you a better grasp. I'll be deer hunting, so you guys will trust your judgment. Fair enough, sir. I can also reach out to you after the fact too.
I see what's more important.
I'd be in that deer stand too. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I wouldn't. There's no heat in there.
Well, you could put heat in it. Okay, with that being said, the business items, we have a interview applicant for the vacant Economic Development Authority board seat. I believe that is Mr. Clark Johnson, if you could step forward, sir.
I apologize. I had a bad cold for 3 days. I have one. Thank you.
Oh, you don't need to talk very close.
Okay.
Very sensitive on the microphone.
I was given a series of questions that I should answer about my community involvement. I've lived in Isani since September 1st, 1979, 40 years last September 1st. And in my involvement, I have heavily been involved in the Chamber of Commerce, and I was a charter member of the Isani Commercial Club, and became the Isani Area Chamber, and then it merged with the Cambridge Chamber. But I have been very involved in my business here for 23 years, and then for the last 17 years, my business moved to Cambridge. I have been, if you'll note, involved in community development since I got interested when a guy named Herb Scar, our county extension agent, contacted me about being in the Minnesota Emerging Leadership Program back in the 1970s. And this was through the University of Minnesota Extension Service. And we did a lot of traveling around the state to look at what was going on in the way of community developments. And things like that I mentioned, the Arctic cat, why did they choose Thief River Falls to build their plant? Why did Skidoo locate themselves in Roseau? We also looked at the Lanesboro Root River Bike Trail, which was one of the first ones in the state that was organized and considered, you know, what can we do like that for our area? And these were, I was with about 20 people from all over the state. And this was the first emerging leadership program that was sponsored by the University of Minnesota. My business is an insurance broker, and I'm located in Cambridge, Minnesota. I have been for 17 years. And at 23 years, I was located here at my home in Isani.
You're kind of taking my questions from me, Mr. Johnson. I don't even have to say anything. I'm supposed to ask these and you answer them, but you go right ahead, sir.
I'm answering questions, but would you like to ask questions? I'm sorry.
Well, you already answered number one. What was what has been your community involvement, which you answered, and then question two was.
I've been heavily involved in the community since I moved here, in the chamber and the business organizations.
And then number two was what is your business related background, which
I have a bachelor's degree in organizational studies from Bethel University, and have been self-employed as an insurance agent for 42 and a half years. And so I expect that will probably continue for a few more years. And I spent 24 and a half years as a board member on the Cambridge-Isani School Board from June of 1985 when we had June elections, and then I retired at the end of December 2010 and chose not to run at that time. What are your strengths? I think a strong desire to grow businesses that will provide a living wage to the area residents, including employers that would have that kind of living wage opportunities for people. I quote the items that there are at least 24 to 28,000 autos that commute every day through Isani on 65 heading south, and checking some other things today on the internet, there are close to 50 to 60,000 autos when you approach Blaine and Highway 10 intersection. So it is quite a large number of people that are commuting, and we would love to have employment opportunities here in Isanti for people so that they wouldn't have to travel to the Twin Cities. I also mentioned, excuse me, I would love to see some large employers considered, and I noted the idea that Amazon chose to locate in Shakopee. The question I would ask is are there other employers that would be interested in our area? They employ 2,500 people, and there are also tech and technical people. Medtronic I have several clients that have worked at Medtronic, and they are located at Highway 65 and 694. So the question is, why would these companies not want to locate in our neighborhood? I've spoken with a truck driver from FedEx, and he and I have become personal friends. And the question is, why wouldn't there be an opportunity for FedEx to have a warehouse in our community? My wife was one of these commuters, and after we got married, she quit because she didn't want to drive 50 miles back and forth, or each way to Honeywell in Minneapolis. And then I can be available to be at the meetings for the
First Tuesday of each month, starting at 7:30?
Yep.
Okay.
Excuse me. I have had a very bad cold, and I'm losing my voice.
You must have been hanging out with Councilman Burgley here, because he's got the same thing.
Yeah, we hang out quite often, don't we, Clark?
So,
Well, I commend you, I commend you on your years of service at the school board. That's not a,
I didn't make the record. Jane Skoglund went almost 38 years. So.
yeah, well, and the school board is a very hard board to work with. And I've known you for, I don't know, gosh, how long, Clark, so.
Since your dad started his business in town.
You know, when you brought up the business, yeah,
42 and a half years?
no, the Chamber of Commerce in the business, and that's, sat through many meetings. I know you were there, and when my father was the first president of the chamber, so. Clark's got a pretty good head for business.
And any further questions?
No, you answered them all.
I think you did pretty good here. I didn't even have to ask you the questions. You just asked them to yourself and answered them yourself. So
Your assistant was very good at getting me the questions tonight.
We're gonna take a
I
vote.
apologize for my voice.
oh, you're okay, Mr. Johnson. Any questions, comments by the council?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve by Councilman Burgley and a second by Councilman Collison. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Welcome to the
Clark.
family, Mr. Johnson. Motion carries 5-0. Ordinance amending City Code Chapter 111, Building Construction, adopting Article 6, Minnesota State Fire Code.
Mayor and council, so this was discussed at Committee of the Whole to adopt the Minnesota Fire State Code into City Code Chapter 111, Building Construction. And staff is recommending approval. We already do abide by this, but this makes it formal and also for us to be able to designate a fire chief or fire marshal. I mean,
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve by Councilman Lundin and a second by Councilman Gordon. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0.
I have a recommendation that we probably reach out to Chief Jankovic for the fire marshal position, if he's able to do it, or if he has somebody that can be brought in for that.
Councilmember Lundin, we currently have MinSpect designated as the fire inspector, and I believe that the fire marshal does automatically go to Al Jankovic as fire chief, but I can
Okay.
double check that.
Yeah, I believe that he knows a little more about that than our current situation.
I think she's correct, though. I think Chief Jankovic acts as the fire marshal,
Yep.
and then MinSpec does the fire inspecting.
Yep.
But double checking wouldn't be a bad thing. Number J3, ordinance amending city code, adding chapter 125, city name, seal, and logo.
Mayor and council, this was also discussed at Committee of the Whole, and now that we have our registration on our logo, now we can have this as an ordinance, so we can enforce if anyone was using our logo, our city logo in a manner that was not befitting of the, or not in best interest of the city. This would allow us to tell them that they could not use it without our prior permission.
I make a motion to approve.
I have a question. Did I understand during that reading there that someone is using our logo?
Currently, there is a Facebook page that uses our logo, well, picture of the water tower, and I have been informed that some people do think it's a city Facebook page, although
Okay.
it is not.
Okay. So it's a problem right now.
That's a little bit of a problem, but we're
Not-
trying to nip it in the butt, so to
Okay.
speak, so it doesn't
Well, I'm just
get any
wondering how big of a
larger.
problem it is, that's all I'm asking, so. So it's not a huge problem, it just,
Not a huge
Comes up a little
problem, but
bit.
could
Okay,
get out
thanks.
of hand.
thanks, yeah. I'll second.
Now I'm totally lost in who first.
I first did.
I I have a motion to approve by Councilman Lundin and a second by Councilman Burgley. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Resolution approving proposal for preliminary engineering report for street improvements. Mr. Cook.
Yes, Mayor, members of the council. So this is just to stay with our capital improvement plan that laid out the reconditioning of 6th Avenue from South Brookview to a few hundred feet past Dogwood. The segment of road's in pretty tough shape. It's in our plan, and it's actually all state aid eligible to use those funds. This is to simply do the preliminary engineering report to verify the costs and all the infrastructure that's needed to get the more locked-in number. We would also evaluate the ability to fill in the sidewalk along the west side. There's a dead end on both ends of the run, so we'd just see if that's going to be able to fit in there as well.
I make a motion to approve.
Second. I had a question too.
Go ahead with your question, Councilman Collison.
Is there, if they're gonna be in that vicinity doing the road work, is there a way we can get something done for that park entrance there? While they're there?
Yeah, absolutely. I guess, you know, we can collect a survey of just the whole corridor there and see what kind of tie-in there'd need to be.
Right now it's just a beach.
Right, and I believe there's just kind of a crumbled valley gutter kind of a thing right there, so we'd certainly be able to evaluate it. That, I mean, to the right of way, at least the entrance to it could certainly just be part of the project. If we want to look at going further back, you know, I guess could add that to the study. I just have to do a little bit additional survey and things to fit it, but.
Make a motion to approve it.
We'll have
with
one
the
more question
condition
too.
Because I don't think that park's going anywhere. So,
Councilman Burgley.
So I thought I read in there that there's parking just on one side. It's proposed parking on one side of the street. Is it already that way, the parking on one side of the street, or is that alternate at all, or?
On this run,
Yeah.
I don't believe we have it designated right now, but it'll be that same scenario for using state aid funds, that we have to have the
Okay,
certain width to be allowed to not designate a side as no parking. So
Okay.
part of the evaluation will be how wide is the street, and will we want to modify the width, you know, to decide if we want to have parking or not.
okay, thank you.
So I have a motion by Councilman Lundin
Second,
to approve it with the adding of
The parking.
the parking entrance. And then I have a second by Councilman Collison and a third by Burgley. So all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Thank you, Mr. Cook. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Councilman Burgley. Do I have a second?
second.
Second by Councilman Collison. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn by Councilman Burgley. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Collison. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. Therefore, we stand adjourned.